What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and welcome to episode 4 of my Football Manager 16 beta save with Everton. And today we have two matches in rapid succession. We are facing off against Watford at home on Boxing Day, followed shortly just 2 days later by a match away at Stoke. But before we get into those two matches, let's go over how we've been faring in the league thus far since our last double live com. And just taking a look at the schedule, since our last double live com of Arsenal and Liverpool, we have gone undefeated, playing 5 matches, winning 3 and drawing 2. And be quite honest with you, this was a stretch of matches that I felt we should have won all 5 of them. And in fact, coming up versus Watford and Stoke and Norwich, we should be winning those 3 matches as well. None of these teams were above double digits in their placement, so coming away with at least being undefeated is still a decent run of form right here. Now let's take a look at the first match after Liverpool, and that was at home against Sunderland. And it was a 2-1 victory at home. We did scrape away a 2-1 victory after Sunderland scored first in the 59th minute, Jermaine Defoe getting the Black Cats on the board first. But then right after, on the kickoff, Romelu Lukaku getting himself a great goal from about 10 yards out, knotting it up at 1 apiece, and then Gerard Deulofeu, 14 minutes later, getting himself a cut-inside goal right around that same spot as Lukaku did. 15 shots, 7 on target, a little less than half possession, but at that point in time, I didn't really care, as we were peppering Sunderland's net, and they really couldn't get much going offensively. We then followed that up with a 1-1 draw to perhaps the stiffest competition we faced in these last 5 matches, away to Aston Villa. Lukaku getting us on the score sheet first in the 17th minute with a nice strike from about 15 yards out, but we could not keep the clean sheet as Aston Villa scoring at the death, 89th minute goal from Carlos Sanchez to knot up at 1 apiece, stealing all 3 points. Well, not all 3 points, but stealing points away from us. Surely we should have come away with the 2 extra points here. But I can't fault my players' performance on the day. 14 shots, 6 of them on target, a little less possession than normal, but that was because near the end I was just trying to throw the ball forward. Like for the last 15 minutes I was trying to throw the long ball forward just to keep it away from our own net. Unfortunately that didn't work in the end, but at the same time, can't fault the players' performance overall. We then got back to our winning ways against West Ham as we defeated them at home 4-2. Aaron Lennon, Lukaku, Steve Naismith, and Kevin Morales all with goals. Meanwhile, on the other side, only Andy Carroll and Lanzini with goals, and both of them within the last 12 minutes of the match. Stats-wise, it was pretty even in terms of shots and possession. When it came to balls on net, we had double the amount that West Ham took. 8 shots on target compared to their 4, and just from that stat alone, the amount of shots that we took on net, more often than not, you're going to get more goals than the other side, and that's what happened here today. The match was also plagued by yellow cards, as we had 3 on our side, same with West Ham, but overall, it was a good physical battle that we were able to come away with all 3 points for. We then traveled out to Vitality Stadium, where we defeated Bournemouth 2-1 away from home, and we didn't even get on the score sheet first. Bournemouth got on in the 51st minute, but then Lukaku just 2 minutes later, after some great passing, great build-up, Lukaku striking from within the 18-yard box. And then Kevin Morales sealed the deal just 9 minutes later to make it 2-1. 19 shots, same as Bournemouth, but we had 14 of them on target compared to Bournemouth's just only 6. 55% possession as well, and that's what I'd like to see. It was a very solid victory for the team, continuing our unbeaten run. And in a result that I would honestly not like to see on this day during the live com, we only came away with a 1-1 draw to Stoke City. Lukaku getting us on the board first in the 40th minute with a great shot just inside the 6-yard box, just flicking his head on, getting it past the goalkeeper, Jack Butland. As great as Jack Butland was, he wasn't getting that header. He was going one way, and Lukaku flicked it the other. Unfortunately, Aiden McGeady picked up an injury in this match, and he is going to be gone for the next 8 weeks thanks to a dislocated shoulder. And speaking of dislocated shoulders, Gerard Deulofeu picked one up right before the training to this match as well. So both of them are going to be gone between 6 to 8 weeks, which is not going to be good for us. And you know what else wasn't good for us? A guy by the name of Mame Diouf. He was just running circles around our defense, creating chances any time he could. But unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for us, he was only able to strike on net twice. But the unfortunate part was he was able to get a goal past Tim Howard in the 68th minute, knotting the match up and one apiece. And that was the final scoreline. So out of those 5 matches, 11 points, not bad results whatsoever. But now we got to turn our attention to Watford and then the return of Stoke City. So Watford are going to come out in a 4-2-3-1 of their own. So let's take a look at how our 4-2-3-1 is going to line up. We're going to have Lukaku up top. Lennon, Barkley, and Morales would be the 3 attacking mids, with McCarthy and Besic sitting in the middle of the park. Baines, Funes Mori, Stones, and Coleman along the back line, and Tim Howard manning the net. Anything less than a draw here would be unacceptable. Watford are easily a team that we can beat. We just need to put them to the test. So let's kick off and see what happens. An unbelievable scene here as Ross Barkley goes down not 90 seconds into this match. That's very unfortunate. Hopefully it's not going to be a long-term injury. So his replacement, Steve Naismith, coming in to be the new center mid. I really, really hope that Ross Barkley isn't out for any long period of time. All right, 16 minutes gone, and there's our first highlight of the day, and it's a goal kick from Tim Howard. We can't corral that, and Watford are coming down and making some great passing through. They're trying to get it through to Igalho, but it's good that Leighton Baines is there to clear it out. Back to Howard. Kicks it very, very deep, and we do come down with it. Naismith out on the left finds Morales. Morales trying to get past one defender. He does have Lukaku in the box, but instead elects to go backwards with it. Besic now, way out, finds Coleman, who is playing way up there. Coleman bounces it off the crossbar. I'm sure he didn't mean to do that. And outside of that first and only highlight, it has been a very, very boring match. Nothing much going on as we come into the half, 0-0. The team needs to really pick this up if they want to go out and get a victory. Defense has been doing okay, but it's the offense that I'm worried about. So far, Watford have had 5 shots. Make that 6, now make that 7, and we've only had 1, not 1 on target. Defense, good to clear that away. I should say Howard, good to clear that away and make those stops. We do have yellow cards on defenders early. John Stones and Funes Mori, both with yellow cards. I'm going to sub one of them off right now. Jagielka is going to be coming on for Stones, and he's actually going to switch sides. And up front, Kevin Morales hasn't been playing all that well. Lukaku hasn't been playing all that well either. I'm very reluctant to sub either of them off right now. So we're just going to have to sit back and wait and hope that something develops. And nothing is developing, so I'm going to sub out what I think is the problem, and that is the midfield cannot get the ball up. Besic or McCarthy. I'm going to sub out McCarthy, and we're going to bring on Tim Sparv. And I think Tim Sparv is good as a ball wing. No, he's better as a central mid. So hopefully Tim Sparv can provide a spark if we want to try and get a goal and try and get away with some sort of result. 77 minutes gone by, and here's a highlight. It was a free kick to Watford, but we do clear it away. Lennon gets it up ahead to Lukaku, who takes it out wide on the right. He does have a couple options in the middle. Lennon still can continue forward. Lukaku out wide. Tried to get it in. Morales is there. Finds Naismith. Steve Naismith takes a shot, but it's saved away by the Watford keeper, and we do get a corner out of it. Leighton Baines whips it in, far post. Who's it going to fall to? Kevin Morales off the post. Jagielka! Phil Jagielka, who comes in as a sub, finally cracks the deadlock and scores in the 78th minute to put Everton up 1-0. And it was a good run of play even before the corner, but then the ball just falls to Morales' feet. He took a decent shot, but it went off the post. Keeper couldn't do anything about it. Jags with the rebound and the goal. With just 2 minutes left to go, though, Watford coming on an attack. They floated in there. Good header away. We just need to cut out this offense. Niam going far post. Jags clears it. Lennon, you need to do better to clear that. Oh, my God. Are you serious? I told everybody to close it down, to tighten up, and this is what happens. They give away the game-tying goal with 2 minutes left on the clock. 2 minutes of stoppage on the clock. Already one has gone by, and here we come again. Could we get one final attack? Morales bouncing it off the post. I can't believe it. Though to be fair, it was a shot from about 20, 25 yards out. Not all that accurate, but it was worth a try. And that's how it's going to end. A very extremely disappointing 1-1 draw. Though to be fair, most of this game was extremely disappointing to begin with, where there wasn't much of an offense on our side until the last 20 minutes. And here are the stats for today. Everton, 10 shots, 3 of them on target. The majority of those shots coming in the last half hour. And Watford, outside that initial double barrage in the first minute of the second half, only took one shot the rest of the game. And wouldn't you know it, that shot led to a goal. So it sees us still in 9th place, and now we must regroup, and now 2 days later have to go face Stoke, at Stoke. Alright, and here we come with the second match, Stoke versus Everton at the Britannia, and this is how we're going to line up. Definitely some squad rotation here, as some players are struggling for fitness, as well as a couple of people making their returns. So starting from the back, Joel Robles is going to be in net today, with Seamus, Stones, Jagielka, and Brian Oviedo making up the back line. Tom Cleverley and Tim Sparv, two people that are often used as subs, not usually starting. They are actually going to get a start today. Along the attacking mid role, we have Morales, Osman, and Connor McElhaney making his return from a loan spell to actually get some play time with the first team. And then, of course, Romelu Lukaku, got to be sticking up front. Got to go with the big man, even if he is at 91% condition. That draw hurt versus Watford. Let's hope that we can pull off a win and bounce back into solid form. First highlight, 19 minutes in, and it was a goal kick, actually a free kick from Jack Butland. It falls to Shaqiri. Shaqiri coming in on the right. Good block away. McElhaney finds Osman, who goes long ball way over the top. Lukaku well out on the left. He's getting mugged off by 3 guys, really trying to take away the big man's power. We do get the ball back, holding up in the midfield. Cleverly to Stones. Coleman trying to get some long ball. Osman out to Morales. Going to the touchline. Lukaku running, and with his big head, hits it over the bar. Deep throw in. Sparv finds McElhaney. Back out to Sparv. And Oviedo has plenty of options in the midfield. And Shaqiri fouls McElhaney in the box. It's going to be a penalty. Lukaku is going to step and take this one. Stepping up with his left foot. Where is he going to go? He goes to the left, and it's 1-0 to Everton. Jack Butland guessing wrong. And a great goal to get us in the lead in the 24th minute. And those were pretty much the only highlights of the first half as we come into halftime, holding on to that slim 1-0 lead thanks to that penalty by Lukaku. Now, everyone's doing halfway decent. I don't want to change up much, but fitness, I understand fitness is going to be an issue, so I'm going to be monitoring players throughout the remainder of this second half. Tom Cleverley has picked up a calf strain, and instead of risking him staying out there with his 55% condition, I am going to sub him off. James McCarthy is going to come on for him. Actually, James McCarthy has been getting a lot of playtime recently. He's not all that great fitness-wise right now. I'm going to go with Darren Gibson, Gibbo, just to give him, since he is the better conditioned player at this moment. Deep throw in for Stoke City right before the hour mark. Just keeping it around our 18-yard box. That's some great passing. Oh, and Joselu. Is offside. I thought for sure he was on. But thank you, ref, for calling that offside. And now it's a corner for Stoke. Going far post, and he's able to get it this time. Philip Wolscheid equalizing the match. Stoke City 1, Everton 1 in the 69th minute. It was great going far post. He was marked, but not well enough. Alright, with 20 minutes left to go in this match, it is time for us to make some subs out now. Lukaku looking really tired up front, so I'm going to bring on Bonazzoli in only his second match with the club. Give him some run time out there. And then the other option is, do I go with another attacking player or do I switch out defense? As Morales is not looking all that great on the right, But just looking at Coleman and Stones and Jags, both of them in the low 70s, one of them is going to need to come out as well. But at this point in time, I think I'm going to try and go for it. I'm going to bring on Aaron Lennon for Kevin Morales. And I think he'll be bearing support. So there we go. Switching out 2 attackers. Let's hope this equals success. Time pretty much run out. There's 3 minutes of stoppage time on the clock. Stoke trying to go very long to try and get a goal in the dying seconds, but it ends with another 1-1 draw. And to be quite honest with you, I thought we were bossing the majority of this match, so this time, as with Watford, very unfortunate to only come away with a draw. But the stats say otherwise, apparently. We've only had 6 shots with 2 of them on target. Stoke 9-3 and had the majority of the possession. I thought for sure that we had a better time in this match, but apparently I was wrong. So I guess we were very fortunate to come away with a 1-1 draw. And with that result, that puts us in 8th place, just over Leicester City on goal difference. 31 points through 20 matches as we are coming up into the new year and, of course, the transfer window. Taking a look at the top 4 right now. Man City with 48, Chelsea with 43, Tottenham with 42, and Manchester United with 40, with Arsenal, Newcastle, and Villa. Villa, really, the other teams that are ahead of us. Sitting in the relegation area, West Brom, Sunderland, and Bournemouth. And quite honestly, 2 of them that probably should be down there, with a third who really shouldn't. But everything is looking pretty decent for Everton right now, sitting in 8th place. And Tom Cleverley, with that calf strain, will be out for the next 3 weeks, which is not good for us, as we're starting to reassess and actually re-add to this injury list that we had at the very beginning of the year. I think we're back up to 5 people now on the injured list who are out for at least 2 to 3 weeks. And as we are coming up to the January transfer window, so too I have the option to start selling players. And to be quite honest with you, Kevin Morales has been the main player that I've wanted to sell and thought about selling before the season even began. And as you can see, he is my 3rd best player on the side right now. He is 4 goals in 16 appearances, and he probably has a good number of assists as well. But he has 6 assists to average out to a 7.25 rating. Now, when he started the season, he was at a £22 million estimated value. That jumped up right now to 23.5. I could try for 25, and I know there would be several teams to bid on him for that. But just thinking about that, and you take a look at who I have out. I have Aiden McGeady out. I have De La Feu out. Both of them wingers that can play on both the left and right side. And when you also take away the fact that I'm going to be selling Steven Pienaar in this January transfer window as well, who would I have left to play on the wing? That's fit and can do it. McElhaney, and if you want to drop back to midfield roles, Brian Oviedo, who can play on the left. That's it. So as of right now, I really cannot sell Kevin Morales. It would probably have to wait until the very end of the January transfer window to get any sort of money in, and try and wait for De La Feu and McGeady to get healthy before I even think about selling him. So that's one thing that I'm going to try and do. The second thing I'm going to try and do is bring in either a backup to Seamus Coleman, or try and find a starting right back that can challenge Seamus for that role. To be quite honest with you, that is the place that I do not have any depth in. Seamus is really the only player that can play that naturally. I mean, I do have Mason Holgate. I have John Stones, who can play out there, but they shouldn't be playing out there. They should be playing in the center. So that's why I was looking to use that Morales and that Pienaar money to try and bring in a right back. Now, with that said, let's take a look at the schedule and see where we're going to come back next. Like I said, is the start of January, so we have Norwich in the league. We have Crawley. We drew against Crawley in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. That should be an easy victory for us. Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur, Crystal Palace, and then Newcastle right at the end of the transfer window. Now, something tells me that If we defeat Crawley, the next round of the FA Cup will take place in between Tottenham and Crystal Palace, or between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. I would like to try and play that round to get that round going to see if we can make the fifth round, which would be the one round before the board expect us to get to. They expect us to make the quarterfinals. So when we come back, it will be either Tottenham Hotspur and the FA Cup match, or it'll be Crystal Palace and the FA Cup match. Depends on when that date falls. But until that time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Any comments, suggestions, questions? Do you want to see me sell Kevin Morales? Do you want to see me try and sell Kevin Morales? With everything that you just saw and how low I am on the depth chart in terms of wingers right now. Do you want to see me sell him? Please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.